Gary Atensi with CNTV, and today we're in Fountain, Colorado. I am here with the Rocky Mountain Vintage Racing. This nonprofit club has been providing the organization, production, sanctioning of vintage car races all along the Front Range. I'm here with Jeff, who is really the project manager going on here this weekend. Let me ask you a couple things before we get started, Jeff. Share with me a little bit about yourself, how it is you got involved in this kind of passionate work. I understand it began rather young for you.
Yes, I got involved with cars in high school. I had a lot of cars, a lot of hot rods. I never did any racing, but played with cars for a long time. Raised a family, 25 years went by, and then I finally got back into automobiles and built a couple race cars. Started doing some Lemons events and Chump Car events, which is cheap racing, and graduated to bigger cars and got involved with the vintage group here, and so enjoy this the company of these folks. And
wonderful. This looks like a pretty nice track here in Colorado, although you pretty much have you've raced across the country, almost across the world.
Oh, myself? No.
Not yourself.
Over on that, but a lot of these folks have. Yeah, we have people from all over the world here involved in the club. So, yeah, guys here with a lot of racing experience.
Let me ask you one of the things here. We're talking about vintage car racing. The definition of vintage can kind of differ. Share with me a little bit about what years we're going to be seeing here at the racetrack.
Well, here in our group, everything is pre-'81. So we have different classes. We have two different open-wheel groups, Formula Fords and Formula Vs. And then we have production cars, both small bore, mid bore, and big bore cars. So,
vintage racing, I mean, first of all, vintage cars alone is kind of a cool thing to have. But we're talking about vintage racing cars. 500 plus members that we've got all along the Front Range. They enjoy the sport of racing as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody that's here is passionate about the sport, or they wouldn't be doing it. So, and we're not here to bang fenders and get too aggressive. Everybody's here having fun, respecting each other's cars, and again, the camaraderie and the company of the competitors.
All I've ever wanted to do since I was a little girl was race cars, and I grew up watching Indy 500. I'm a Midwest girl, and my dream finally came true in my 40s. I met one of the racers, and he got me to the school, and we went from there.
It's incredible. There's nothing like it. The adrenaline rush, just the feeling of the competition. And this club is really phenomenal in the fact that the camaraderie is great. We all enjoy being around each other. We help each other. But we race hard and have a good time.
What are some of the familiar names of some of these older cars that we're possibly going to see out there, and some of the ones that aren't so familiar?
In the production group, you'll see everything from Alfa Romeos, Porsches, MGs, Triumphs. In the big bore cars, you'll see Mustangs, you'll see Camaros, you'll see Barracudas, you'll see Corvettes. We also have some larger cars that come out, sometimes some Formula 5000 cars. Occasionally we'll see a Can-Am car too.
A lot of times we say the cars are the stars, and we've got some fairly unique cars out here, some older cars, some older drivers to go along with that. So, but again, a wide range of vehicles. If you like open wheel cars or production cars, the cars that people grew up with, Porsches, Audis, that sort of thing.
We have sports racers. So like an open wheel car with body work on it. So a variety of different things. If you have an old race car, we'll find a place for you.
A lot of eye candy out there for folks. One of the things, you really pledge to preserve these cars for years to come, but you're also really preserving the sport. I see a lot of younger kids out here. Is it kind of neat to see these kids getting into it as well?
Well, we're really trying to get younger blood into the club. You'll see a lot of gray hair guys like me, so a lot of guys that have raised families and have the money to pursue this now. We're really trying to get the next generation of people involved in the sport. So the cars don't change. There's a lot of old race cars around, and we want to see them used. They shouldn't be sitting in museums. They should be on the racetrack.
That's one of the nice things is that, we preserve a lot of these old muscle cars and stuff, that it gives those young people an opportunity to see those cars that we all grew up with as kids back in the 60s and the 70s.
We've got a lot of diversity. We've got a lot of kids coming in, which is great because it really does teach them a lot about car control. They can apply what they learn to the street. I think that one of the biggest benefits you get driving at the limit is it's the same as driving in snow and ice, except at much higher speeds. The dynamics are all the same. So everything you learn to driving a race car, you can apply to driving in bad conditions on the street every day.
Actually, I've started when I was like 30 some odd years old, and I'm 65 now, so I've been doing it for quite a while. I am glad to see in our club that we do have a lot more younger drivers coming out, because that has been one of the issues of trying to get younger people involved. involved with Rocky Mountain Vintage Racing.
A lot of events throughout the year, particularly this weekend is a good starting point for those that no longer want to be a spectator but want to get in the driver's seat. Share with me the driver's school. What goes on over that weekend?
Well, we host a driver's school every year, usually in April, and we try and get as many people out as we can. Today we have about 65 students, and we pair students and instructors. So we have members of the club that are already licensed drivers that pair up. They're one-on-one with each student. So we try and encourage people to come out and get involved in the school. Once they complete this school and they do 2 provisional races, then they'll receive a full competition license, assuming they keep the nose clean and stay out of trouble on the racetrack and get signed off. Then once they've got their license, they can come race all the events with us.
It's a really good way to get started, and we as a club are always hoping a few people will transition over from the precision driving into the actual race events, but if they don't, they get huge benefit just from coming out with their street cars and learning how to handle them at speed on the track.
So we're talking about quality classroom time as well as some hands-on instruction. Really, safety has to be number one for you.
Safety is a big aspect, yeah. We actually have 34 folks here today that are track workers that help out in that regard. We have people on every corner. We have people in pit and grid. We have people in control. We have starters, and we have technical folks. So, safety is paramount. So we ensure that all the cars are safe. They have to go through tech before they're allowed on the racetrack. You have to have helmet, driving suit, gloves, proper footwear. Everything has to be in place before you're allowed on the track.
One of the reasons you have a great turnout here and really help promote in the sport is you really make it affordable for folks as well. Is that correct?
Well, absolutely. I mean, you can really spend as much as you want, but you can get into this sport for a fairly low entry fee. You don't have to spend a lot of money to go racing with us, absolutely. So, but the sky's the limit. If you want to spend a lot of money on your car, you can.
I imagine these folks that own these race cars, it's definitely crossed their mind before about racing that car, and so this is a great starting point for them. I imagine there's got to be some great anticipation throughout the week. I mean, throughout the weekend, getting ready for a class, thinking about possibly racing your first time.
Oh, it's really interesting watching the kids. Yeah, I say kids. We have all ages students here, but they come in not knowing what to expect, and there's a lot of anticipation, a lot of excitement. Throughout the course of the weekend, their skill level increases, their confidence increases. They go faster out there, and as the class progresses, they're allowed to do more and more things, pass in more places, do more of the kind of thing that we actually do in a real race. So.
What is the difference in the precision schooling versus that of competition?
The class curriculum is about the same between the two classes. They learn the same kind of thing. The precision students are usually out here in high-performance street cars, and they're here to learn, high-performance driving. The competition students are here to get licensed and go race with the club. So the only difference is at the end of the weekend, the competition students actually engage in a race, a real race on the track. The precision students do not, because they don't have the required belts, they don't have the fire extinguisher, they don't necessarily have all the same safety equipment in their street cars.
Like you said, basically it's quite an event to put this on. It takes an entire team. For those folks that want to get out of the stands and basically volunteer, maybe get a different perspective, is that a possibility?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of opportunity here for volunteers to come and do a variety of different things. So we're always looking for help. There's a ton of different jobs available here. A lot of people that come out and work with the club go on to become drivers, and a lot of them just enjoy coming out and being involved with the cars and being involved with the club. So it's a big community, workers and drivers alike. Everybody gets along.
Actually, I can't afford a race car, but I still want to be involved, so this is how I can do that. Please come out. It is so much fun. I'm an extreme fan as far as it comes to motorsports. I do pro races too. I've done American Le Mans Series, IndyCar, Formula One. And this is where I started with Rocky Mountain Vintage Racing. So come out, check it out. If you don't like it, you don't have to stay. If you like it, you might be like me and make it a hobby.
No matter if you're working the timing or the pit or out flagging, I imagine you kind of experience it from a whole different perspective than you would from the stands.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you know a lot about what's going on. If you're involved in the club, and I'm still fairly new to the club myself. I'm learning more and more every day. And being the event chair here this weekend, I've learned an awful lot about the club. But it takes a whole community of people to put these things on.
Excellent. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, first of all, take a look at the different schooling they have provided there. They'll let you know the events of dates they have coming up. We're talking about Grand Prix that you can take a part of year-round all along the Front Range here with over 500-plus members. We're talking about a lot of eligible cars to be able to out there and race up the waves. They can also find you on Facebook as well. One of the things out there, is this an opportunity for the community to come out and take a look at the races as well? Is it open to everybody?
Oh, absolutely. Anybody can come out and spectate. There's no charge to watch. You can walk through the pits. You can talk to the drivers. You can, get involved in this any way you'd like. But we encourage people to come out and spectate. We don't get full grandstands like a NASCAR race, so the more spectators, the better.
Unlike some of the professional races, I mean, anybody can come to the track. It's free. They can walk through the pits. They come up and get to talk with the drivers, and we'll let them get in the cars, and we even give them rides sometimes.
So really good for the community. I see you also have some races there as far as giving back to the community, racing for some great funds like fundraisers. Share with me a little bit there.
Yes, we have an annual event in July each year. It's a race against kids' cancer, and it's our big fundraiser. Last year, I don't recall the exact figure, but I believe we raised around $140,000 for that particular, for the Morgan Adams Foundation. So it was a great event. A lot of special cars come out. People come out and be involved. They take rides in the race cars. So we have a lot of things for our sponsors to be involved with. It's our biggest weekend of the year.
I imagine the racing's got to be a lot of fun. You learn every single day, not only formally in the school, but like you said, you're picking up new things all the time. Got to be kind of fun just getting together with a group of like-minded individuals. I imagine the stories build every year.
Oh yeah, there are a lot of stories, and we have social events at each event on Saturday night usually, and those are a lot of fun. So the stories start flying, and it's good. So we have a wide range of experiences and ability levels out here, and everybody has a good time together.
Wonderful. Last time viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. You're going to see their website. They've got contact information right there. If this is a club you'd like to be a part of or possibly want to volunteer, check it out. But if you want to come out just as a spectator, believe me, you're going to see some beautiful cars out there and drivers that are pretty passionate about keeping this sport alive. That is basically Rocky Mountain Vintage Racing right here in Fountain, Colorado. This is Gary Atanu with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.